The Joe Rogan Experience.
What do you think about the LIV golf thing?
Love it.
Good.
Absolutely love it. Why not?
Tell me more.
Here's the reason. And I told you before this, I know a guy that went over there. And here's the thing. Some people love the preservation and the history of the PGA. I get it, tradition. A lot of things about the PGA are bullshit, and particularly the idea that the PGA had a stronghold on them. It was kind of like, it has like the remnants of like contracts from studios in the 50s for actors, where you're like, we own your fucking ass, your likeness, your rights, your images. When the golfers golf, they can't use that footage. They have to license it from the PGA. So if I'm out playing and I want to be like, hey man, I want to put up a post on Instagram about this dope ass putt I hit or whatever, this great, you have to buy it. You have to buy your shit back from them. Bullshit. Why? If I'm Zion Williamson in the NBA and I fucking yoke on someone, I put my dick in their fucking face and dunk on them,
Whoa.
The NBA can't wait to give you the footage. They're like, dude, post that shit because it's going to help their brand. PGA is old white guy bullshit, and I get it that it's antiquated. So some of the younger guys were like, fuck this, I want more freedom and fun. I want something different. Mm-hmm. Some of them, their careers are on the other side, so they might not be making so much more to win money. Right? So this is a great alternative. The problem people had was like Dustin Johnson or, guys that are at the top, and they're like, why are you pulling your game over there? Do you think you can't win anymore in this? Which is part of the controversy. It's like, But
what's the big controversy?
Well,
the big controversy is
Saudi
run
money.
by the Saudis.
Yeah, but Saudi money is invested in tons of shit. Look up Saudi money LPGA. Look that up. The investment of the Saudis isn't like a new thing in American sports. So people are just mad because the PGA particularly is mad because they're looking something in the face that's threatening them. It's not going to be bigger than the PGA, but it's an alternative that's fun. People like it. It's not going to be bigger. It's not going to take it over. But
what people are concerned with is that people are leaving and they're going to work for someone who's been accused of some horrific shit.
Sure. But who made your jeans?
These are American jeans.
But you know what I mean? It's like most
These
people...
are made by Origin.
But most people go, oh, dude, I don't like that. It's like, dude, your fucking shirt was made by a Chinese kid.
There's a lot... Well, your phone. If you're complaining about stuff, you're literally complaining on a device that was made by slaves.
Well, that's my point. So yeah. I think that when you start to get into nitpicky stuff, I'm always like, I understand the idea of like being like people are anti them playing for Saudi money, but if you think you're not involved in Saudi money at a high sports level, I'm sorry, but it's there.
Well, the WWE fans are freaking out now, right?
Why?
Jamie?
Yeah.
What's that about?
They announced last night that the Saudi investment fund bought the WWE, I believe.
Okay. Well, what are you going to do?
What happens now?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's fucking no.
What happens now?
Well, there's no divas. There's not going to be any women.
Look at that. Vince McMahon. WWE talent done if company is sold to Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, brother.
Wrestling.
It says it's not sold to Saudi, according to them.
TMZ.
So this is what was happening on Twitter last night. WWE Twitter world freaked out. It was like trending all night.
Well,
People
go to
started
Snopes.
going,
What does Snopes have to say?
Oh, they had an answer? Oh, they
Yeah.
did?
Is WWE being so? Research in progress. Oh.
Still going. So yes. So the answer is yes, and they just can't leak it yet. No, but
the money comes around if it's a substantial increase in money.
I think here's the deal. I understand tradition, but if these guys want an alternative league to play in, who fucking let them go play? Who gives a shit? I don't know. Why do you need a monopoly of one league? I mean, you look at the history.
That's not what the problem is. What people have a problem with is Jamal Khashoggi. Jamal Khashoggi, who was a journalist for the Washington Post, who was dismembered at the Turkish embassy supposedly at the instructions of the Saudi royals.
Yeah.
He was critical of them.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know who literally is funding. They could be just Saudi businessmen that are funding LIV. I don't know the particulars, but I don't know. That's what I'm saying is like, whatever. If they want to go play in that league and they're comfortable with it, let them go play, I guess. Fuck it.
What an American perspective.
Well, let them go play. It's fucking capitalism, baby. You want to get that fucking check, dude?
That's the Trump perspective.
Well, get that fucking check, dude.
Trump told them it's an amazing organization. They're doing great things.
Doing great things.
Go get that money.
I think, honestly, here's what's really going to happen. they're going to go get that money and then they're going to leave. Then it's going to be over and it's going to dissipate into nothing.
Or not. If they have that kind of cheddar, they have enough cheddar they could literally keep this going forever if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't put a dent in them.
No, it's not that. And you're right. It's more that what guys are going to be willing to either stay there or continue to go over there. So the problem is the talent, right? It's like anything else. It's like,
but they're having the events here.
Correct. I went to one.
So you don't have to stay. You don't have to go over there.
I think they only. I think they only play one over there. All of them are here. Like I went to one in Chicago, Rich Harvest Farms, and yeah. I mean, look, it's really interesting to see the internal uproar, which I immediately attribute to golf is an old tradition sport. So people are really particular. So they don't even like that someone's entering the conversation. The other perspective, obviously, is the one that is the bigger deal. Is people are think it's an immoral move,
right?
Unethical move.
If it was instead some enormous hedge fund got together and they put all their money together and decided to fund their own alternative golf agency or
they'd be
golf tour,
just as mad. I think they would be just as upset. People would be. The PGA does not want competition. They don't like that guys are even thinking about going. And then I think personally, they're shoehorning in the Saudi stuff to go, and that's bad. See, they're more mad about business interests. They don't they don't fucking care about
how
the Saudi
much of
shit.
a effect is it having on the top players?
Nothing. I mean, my buddy's doing a documentary that's coming out on Netflix. I think coming up soon in the first quarter of the year about the PGA, and during the middle of filming, half of the guys left and went to LIV, and he films both perspectives. So, and it's supposed to be really good. It's not changed much.
What's the highest level player?
The highest paycheck?
The highest level, like a guy who's like a championship caliber.
Phil Mickelson is one of the greatest of all time, arguably, in a span of many golfers. I'm not saying he's like number one, I'm just saying he is one of the best of all time, and he is I think he's the biggest money, right? Wasn't he the biggest?
Him or
DJ?
Dustin Johnson.
Yeah, him or DJ got the most. But
and what kind of money are we talking about?
150 mil supposedly to just come over to play before they won any extra money.
Before they got paid out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But it's also part of a contract. No one knows the details of these contracts.
Well, they're private, right? They don't have to disclose.
Didn't they lose all their sponsors once they went over there, though?
A lot of them lost some of their sponsors, but I don't know if you need them anymore after 150 mil clears.
Right.
Yeah, I think.
Like, what kind of sponsors are we talking about?
CDW, like business investment firms. Golf is sponsored heavily by TD Ameritrade and shit that it's a lot of that
Which
shit.
Which makes sense because all those guys, the guys who like golf.
Yeah, that's who likes golf.
Yeah, businessmen.
Old businessmen.
They love to do business meetings on the golf course.
Good to see you, Phil.
I bet if you're like a businessman, you probably have to play golf.
I think
some circles.
It's an advantage. I don't know if in the new era, our age is. What's going on now in the youth of business? I don't fucking know what 22-year-olds have to do to like get through in the corporate world, but I imagine it's still a part of it to a degree. It's an inner circle that you're going to get leverage from some way or another. It's like going to a good school. It's like, dude, I went to Arizona State. Did I have any connections? I made zero fucking friends.
Yeah.
I made a lot of fucking friends, but none of them could help me business-wise.
It's not like going to Yale.
No, yeah. You go to an accredited university, someone's daddy is a somebody. And so that's a big advantage in going to a good school.
You meet that guy and you might wind up working for his firm.
He might give you a fucking job.
Yeah.
You want a job? Does your kid want a job? It's like that shit. But
Billy's a good kid.
Really good kid.
And he's top of his class.
I'll give him a couple $100,000 a year out of school. We'll let him fuck off for 2 years, then we'll figure it out.
Show him how to do coke.
We'll give him a bump. But so I think... I like at the end of the day, whatever those guys want to do, I just want to watch golf. So I don't give a shit. I'm definitely the PGA is still going to be the number one because it has, the Masters. It has tournaments where it's just.
Now, is this the general attitude of most people? Most people are just letting it go. They don't care. Or people are outraged.
Most guys my age, I think Jamie might be in a similar boat where you're like, I don't fucking give a shit. But my dad's generation. Is like, fucking, it's ridiculous. You don't supporting the fucking Saudis, and you go over there and you're abandoning the ship that like you sailed in on. The PGA built you and it formed you. It would be like if the UFC had a big competitive had a competitive thing come forward with way more money, which I don't know if that's happened. I'm ignorant. You could tell me if it has, but
it hasn't.
But if it that's kind of the same thing where people
there's some guys who get really good deals that they wouldn't get in the UFC. So what happens is if there's talent that's available that's top flight talent, Bellator has options. That's an option.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys will go to Bellator because Bellator will pay them more. But it's like when you get to the world championship, like the Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov level, I think they make more money in the UFC.
Right.
I think because they have pay-per-view. You don't see pay-per-view with Bellator. I think they've done a couple pay-per-views. I don't think they've been that successful. Whereas UFC does a pay-per-view every month.
Right.
Every month is an enormous pay-per-view. There's world championship fights where you get the best of the best, and everybody knows who they are. It's like Q-Tips, NFL, NBA. That's MMA at the highest level.
Right.
Like you can get cotton swabs at CVS that aren't made by Q-Tips. So you're asking for Q-Tips. Where's the Q-Tips?
Where's Kleenex?
Yeah, where's the Kleenex? And that's not even the best example, right? Because the Q-Tips at CVS that aren't Q-Tips, the cotton swabs are probably just as good. It's not that fucking hard to have a little stick and a little cotton on the end of it.
But it's the name.
To get elite world-class fighters to compete in the biggest organization to hold that UFC belt, and have Bruce Buffer say, "And no," and they put that fucking strap on you. Whoa. That's the cream of the crop when it comes to combat sports.
Well, that's what it is in the PGA. It's like they hold tradition. They've got it by the balls. So no one will. There's no. It's not accredited. LIV is for fun. It's for money and fun. And I think they're trying to appeal to like a new young market.
I think they need to do that shit with the crowd.
The LIV has live music. They have
Who has that? That one with the crowd. That's a different thing?
That's the PGA.
That's the PGA.
Yeah, this has got to be this is like the one time they kind of let this chaos go. It's because it's in Phoenix. Waste Management runs it.
Listen, it's a great move.
No, well, you should show him a picture of what the 16th hole looks like without those stands. What they build is mind-blowing. The course outside of that looks nothing like that. They build this huge structure
that
surround
structure
it.
they put in temporarily?
Yeah, that's gone. Most of the time, it's not there.
What?
That's what it looks like.
That enormous structure they built temporarily?
Yes.
And they keep it or they take it down?
Just for the tournament.
They take it down?
The moment the tournament's closed, that course goes back to what it looked. Look at the 16th without it.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Or 17, is it?
How many people are in there?
I mean, dude, that's got to be, I don't know,
thousands for
5,000, 5,000.
Oh, more.
Yeah,
it looks like more. If that was a show that we were doing together, we'd be like, bro.
Just without grandstand, right? Without grandstand.
That looks like 30, 40,000 to me, man.
Look at that's what it looks like, Joe, without it. Whoa. It's nothing. As a time lapse.
How many people were there? Google the what's the amount, the audience size?
You're allowed to walk in and out of that area. It's not like you need a seat.
Yeah, you don't stay.
You can go anywhere on the course the whole
Right,
day.
but how many people get seated by that structure they put in place? How many seats are available? Take a guess. I'm saying 40 grand.
I would say 20K.
Yeah, it's like 15,000.
15 or 20K is
It seems more than that, man.
It does.
It's so
There's
big.
a lot of boxes, too. They sell those boxes. It's the 16th hole. They sell those boxes because people now know how fun it is.
Right, but what's the actual number?
I don't know that we'll know it. It changes year to year because they add more people.
They have. Okay, let's go the 2021 Waste Management Open crowd size.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
There's got to be a way to find it, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they'll give you an estimate of something. They'll give you like usually how many people show up because they brag about it. 20,000.
20,000.
But that's like the whole event. That's not sitting in.
Yeah, but I would argue half of them are there.
Yeah.
That's probably 10 grand maybe.
But what a great idea to get it exciting, because that was so much more exciting than a normal golf
you should
situation.
hear when they interview pro golfers.
This is only 5,000.
5,000 fans per
That
day.
was 2021. This is when the pandemic was happening. So it was a little bit different, too.
The grandstands are non-existent. Pro golfers say that that's the most nervous they are because people talk shit. They're yelling. It's most times they get this as a guy that holds up a thing to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
There's no rules. You just can't.
I love that.
And you know what's so funny? When somebody does get a hole in one like that, they all throw beer. Like he's got pictures of it where they'll throw beer on there, but they don't get kicked out or anything. It's like the one time you're allowed to throw beer.